So every Australian kid's footballing dream is to go overseas, and for you that's now become a reality. How does that feel?
Yeah, it's special. It's a very surreal feeling at the moment. England's always been my ideal destination, the place I want to go. Weather's slightly different, but there's nothing wrong with that. But it's a very proud moment for me and my family, and I guess it puts a lot of the hard work and the hours, and it reassures how much it really was worth it to do it.
So why now? Why in January? Obviously because there was rumours of you moving in the winter here and their summer, but why did it materialise now then, and why are you leaving the club at this point?
Well, long story short, it's too good of an opportunity to say no to. It's one of those things where it's something I've dreamt of my entire life. It's an ideal destination. It's a great club with a great history, and it's a club and a coach that has a really good idea of where they want to go, and the club seems like it's moving in the right direction. So it's one of those opportunities which you can't really say no to, and I feel like it's something I would regret not doing, especially when it's been a lifelong dream of mine. And a little bit unfortunate that I have to leave the boys halfway through the season, because I feel like we're starting to gain some real momentum and put some things together. Unfortunate result on the weekend, but yeah, I think the team has the quality to go on and win everything. So a shame that I might be missing out on that, but it's an opportunity that I couldn't turn down.
Does it help heading over there, the fact that there's a couple of Aussies involved and have been at the club and things, and obviously with Tommy moving and Farrell being there as well, does that help you sort of like make that choice?
Yeah, I think that helps obviously, because it makes the transition easier, and the club has dealt with the situation before, players moving across from Australia, which isn't something that would happen every day in England, and it's something that definitely doesn't happen very often. But yeah, it definitely influenced me a little bit. I spoke to some of the boys about what it's like there, the team culture, and how the coaching staff all were, and I heard nothing but praise about it. And so yeah, it made my decision quite easy.
And so from this, obviously you said it's like a goal of yours, but what do you want to achieve from making this move? Because obviously you're already in the Socceroos, which is amazing to think of as well, but what else do you want to achieve as a player by moving to the Championship at the moment with Portsmouth?
Well, my footballing dreams have always been to reach the very top, playing in the Premier League, playing in the Champions League, playing in a World Cup, all those kind of dreams that I think every person has when they grow up playing football. And I guess now this is the first step in making that a reality, and it's a big step. It's going to a massive club with a massive history and some great fans, but I'm really looking forward to the opportunity and what I can do over there.
What do you reckon you're going to miss most about Sydney FC, whether it be, the weather, the players, the facilities, the coaches? Like, what is it about this club that you think you're going to miss, and what makes it so special to you?
Well, Sydney FC is my family. It's always been a constant in my life from before I joined the club. As a fan going to the games, to when I joined the club when I was 12 years old, playing my first trial game back in 2016, and then my debut just over a year ago today. And then now, I guess, moving on, it's the one thing that I've always had is Sydney FC in my heart, and for me that's never going to change, no matter what club I'm playing for and representing. And I'm probably going to miss the boys a lot. The weather's nice, but running around in 40-degree heat isn't always the best thing to be doing. So yeah, definitely the boys and the team and all the staff.
When you look back at your time at the club, then you started here when you were 12 years old in the academy. You obviously would have looked up to a lot of players. Did it ever seem as if it was like a real dream of yours to achieve? Because people obviously join the academy when they are talented, right? And you see, the likes of probably Wilco would have been playing maybe then, Jordy Boyce, that sort of era. But did it ever seem achievable for you?
It was one of those things that I always wanted. And as a young kid, my parents would tell you I used to run around being like, I'm not going to uni, I'm going to be a football player, this is what I'm doing. And it was something I've always had my heart set on. And obviously as you go through playing football at a young age and you join Sydney FC, you start to think, wow, this is a possibility, and this is something where this is a great environment to be in. But you also come into a situation where you see how good the quality is as well. You come from being the best player in your team at 12 years old to being in a team full of players that are just as good as you, if not better. And that was for me a bit of an eye-opener into what it took to make it to the next level and to really take that step. And yeah, I think it was just after my injuries when I really was like, this is what I'm going to do, and this is what I want to do, and I'm going to do everything I can to make that happen. Not that I didn't do that beforehand, but it was after the injuries where I really realised that how much I wanted it.
Added motivation, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, of course, and it makes you realise like having time off, and you realise how much you miss it, and how much you really want to make it count and make everything worth it. Because I could very easily have just given up after those injuries, and I guess no one would have said much because it was a lot to take as a young kid. But yeah, it really made me realise like how much I wanted to make it as a footballer, and how much I loved the game and the club, and being able to represent the badge with at the highest level has been amazing.
So obviously Segacic has been to Europe and now has come back. Jake is in America. Does that like shock you in a way, the fact that like the academy team that you had has been so successful just producing players? And it's not just obviously that age group, but it's the constant crop of players who have gone overseas, like, you know, Devlin and Yazzie and stuff as well. Like, does that surprise you?
It doesn't surprise me. It's a massive credit to the club, and I think we all know the talent that the club has coming all the way through from 13s onwards, and even now the new crop of players coming in probably even more talented than we were at that age. And I think the club is the best place and the best environment to produce young players, and I think that's shown in the results that it's getting.
So you're one of the most expensive transfers that the club has ever had. How does that sort of make you feel, having that sort of title? Does that give you added pressure, or are you sort of just taking your stride and it is what it is?
It's a little weird to think about, because you don't really look at yourself as, I guess, having value that high. It's one of those things where it's obviously a great compliment, and it means that they've put a lot of faith in me, and that obviously Sydney value me very highly. So that actually gives you a lot of confidence moving forward. Yes, there is a little bit of added pressure, but there's pressure involved in every facet of football, and it's one of those things which I feel like you get used to dealing with. But it's a massive compliment, and something that I'll definitely take, but won't boast about.
What would you say has been your highlight in your year? Well, you can extend this to, I guess, your whole time in the academy. But in terms of, what would you say is the number one moment for you at this club?
Wow, okay, there is a lot of moments to go through. First trial game ever, we played Wanderers, we beat them 6-1 or 6-2, and that was kind of like a first game derby. Everyone was kind of up for it, and then won the tournament, won the Football New South Wales tournament in under 14s, went to Netherlands with the team in under 15s, so. And then more recently, obviously, making my debut, playing in final football in Australia, and continuing to play in derbies and big games like the Big Blue. And there's so many moments that I can think of. But to pick a number one, I'm going to have to go with my first game. That was a really, really special moment. First time wearing the sky blue, and to beat Wanderers 6-2 was always nice.
What age was that at?
That was back end of 2016, so it was going into under 13. So we'd literally only just come together as a group. I think we were maybe 3-4 weeks into pre-season, and we all got our first game wearing sky blue, and we went out there and had fun, I guess.
I want to also ask as well, do you have like a message to the fans, or you've been a fan yourself through many years, but do you have anything you'd like to say to them for supporting you and trusting you with, being the central defender pairing with whoever you've been with? Like, what would you say to them? Just
a massive thank you, really. It's been an honour. I've absolutely loved every minute of it, and your guys' support has been unbelievable throughout every game, throughout all the highs and lows, and yeah, it's really special that I've been able to represent this club, and hopefully we'll see each other again one day.